Do you believe in coincidences, or do you think some events are more than mere happenstance? The story of Pope Sylvester II, who is said to have made a pact with Lucifer himself, defies any simple, rational explanation. This narrative, full of secrets and indecipherable mysteries, leads us to question the nature of power and knowledge. What makes someone so extraordinary that they are considered a magician? Let's find out. But who was Sylvester II really? How did he go from being a humble monk to one of the most influential popes in medieval history? And what secrets might he have discovered to be accused of magic and necromancy? Prepare yourself for a fascinating journey through history, where the line between the real and the fantastic becomes indistinguishable. In this video, we will unveil the mysteries behind the life and death of Sylvester II, exploring the legends surrounding him, and trying to understand the truth behind the fiction. Keep watching and discover how the story of this enigmatic pope can change your view on spirituality and occultism. Before delving into the history of Sylvester II, it is important to understand the context in which the Vatican found itself during the Middle Ages. The Vatican, the seat of the Catholic Church, is a place full of mysteries and secrets. Since the early days of Christianity, Rome has become the spiritual center of the Western world, and over time, the Vatican turned into the supreme authority of the Catholic faith. What makes the Vatican so mysterious? During the Middle Ages, the Vatican was not only a religious center, but also a center of political power. The popes had influence not only over spiritual matters, but also over worldly issues, including the appointment of kings and emperors. The Vatican amassed wealth and power, becoming a place of intrigue and conspiracies. Many stories of corruption and hidden secrets emerged over the centuries, some of which are still little known today. What could be hidden in the depths of the Vatican? The Vatican Library, one of the oldest and most important libraries in the world, holds ancient manuscripts and texts that are not accessible to the public. There are rumors that these texts contain hidden knowledge, writings by ancient philosophers and scientists that could change our understanding of the world. It is in this environment of secrets and power that the story of Sylvester II unfolds. The legend of Sylvester II begins not in the Vatican, but in a Benedictine monastery in France, where a young man named Gerbert of Aurillac impressed his superiors with his brilliant mind. Raised in an environment of prayer and work, Gerbert soon stood out, not only for his religious devotion, but also for his talent in various sciences. The monastic life offered him a stability unknown to most, with access to rare books and knowledge. How did this young monk become such an influential figure? Gerbert was born around 946 after Christ, in a small village in the Auvergne region of France. His father was a humble shepherd, and the family lived modestly. From an early age, Gerbert showed exceptional intelligence and curiosity, which caught the attention of the monks of the St. Gerald of Aurillac monastery. At the age of 12, he was sent there to begin his formal education. In the monastery, Gerbert learned Latin, the language of the church and science at the time, as well as grammar, rhetoric, and dialectics, the components of the trivium. These disciplines formed the basis of medieval education and were essential for any scholar. But Gerbert was not content with just that. He also showed interest in the quadrivium, which included arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy, and these fields of knowledge were considered superior because they led to the understanding of the divine order of the universe. His teachers, impressed with his thirst for knowledge, recommended that he continue his studies in places where he could learn more. In 967 after Christ, Count Borrell II of Barcelona visited the monastery, and the monks took the opportunity to send Gerbert with him to Spain. This journey would change his life forever. In Spain, Gerbert encountered an advanced civilization that preserved ancient knowledge and incorporated innovations from the Islamic world. He studied in the city of Cordoba, then one of the largest centers of learning in the world. There, he had access to vast libraries, which contained manuscripts by Greek and Roman philosophers, as well as works by Islamic scholars. These texts covered a wide range of subjects, from mathematics and astronomy to alchemy and magic. It was in Cordoba that Gerbert met a Saracen philosopher, a wise and mysterious man who guarded a book of forbidden knowledge. This book, according to legend, contained secrets that could alter reality, knowledge so powerful that it was considered too dangerous to be shared. Fascinated by the power of the book, Gerbert decided he needed to possess it. It is said that he seduced the philosopher's daughter, gaining her trust, and eventually convincing her to help him steal the book. With the book in hand, Gerbert began to experiment with the secrets contained in it. He supposedly invoked a demon, perhaps Lucifer himself, and made a pact, his soul in exchange for unlimited power and knowledge. This pact was said to be the key to his meteoric rise. But how would Gerbert use this newfound knowledge to change his destiny? With the power acquired, Gerbert crossed the Pyrenees and returned to France. He used the knowledge from the book to build incredible machines, which many considered works of magic. It is said that he created a mechanical bronze head that answered yes or no to any question, helping him make important decisions and predict the future. This invention, known as the brazen head, was an example of his ability to combine science and magic. The most persistent legend about Sylvester II is that he stole a book of forbidden knowledge from a Saracen philosopher, using it to invoke demons and secure his rise to power. It is said that he seduced the philosopher's daughter to obtain the book, which allowed him to perform extraordinary feats such as building infernal machines and solving impossible enigmas. How did Gerbert manage to hide these secrets in plain sight? With the book in hand, Gerbert began to experiment with the secrets contained within. He supposedly invoked a demon, perhaps Lucifer himself, and made a pact, his soul in exchange for unlimited power and knowledge. This pact was said to be the key to his meteoric rise. Gerbert used the knowledge from the book to build incredible machines that many considered works of magic. He created automatons that moved on their own and instruments that seemed capable of predicting the future. It is said that he created a mechanical bronze head that answered yes or no to any question, helping him make important decisions and foresee the future. This invention, known as the brazen head, was an example of his ability to combine science and magic. With the acquired power, Gerbert crossed the Pyrenees and returned to France. He used his new skills and knowledge to impress the scholars and leaders of the time. His reputation grew, and he was called upon to serve as an advisor to various nobles and kings. He quickly distinguished himself in Europe, being appointed abbot of Bobbio in Italy, and later becoming an advisor to Emperor Otto II. But how did this man of arcane knowledge become pope? Armed with this knowledge and power, Gerbert quickly distinguished himself in Europe. He was appointed abbot of Bobbio in Italy, and later became an advisor to Emperor Otto II. His reputation as a scholar and magician grew, and he soon found himself at the center of the political and religious intrigues of the time. In 999 after Christ, Gerbert was elected pope, taking the name Sylvester II. His election was seen as a victory for the imperial faction, and many believed he used his arcane knowledge to manipulate events in his favor. As pope, Sylvester II promoted educational reforms and encouraged the study of sciences, but his activities were always shrouded in a veil of suspicion and mystery. The Catholic Church at the time was divided among various factions, each seeking to increase its power and influence. Sylvester II skillfully navigated these turbulent waters, using his knowledge and skills to strengthen his position. He promoted education and learning, believing that intellectual enlightenment could strengthen the Christian faith. However, many of his contemporaries viewed his actions with distrust, associating his extraordinary abilities with occult practices. But did this meteoric rise come at a price? Sylvester II also faced resistance from within the church itself. Some of the more conservative clergy accused him of heresy and of consorting with the devil. These rumors were exacerbated by his humble origins and rapid rise, which was seen as suspicious in an era where social mobility was rare. The legend of the pact with the devil gained traction, fueled by his scientific and technological achievements, which seemed almost supernatural to many. According to legend, Sylvester II's pact included a secret clause revealed by a mechanical bronze head he supposedly constructed. The demon warned that his soul would be condemned to hell if he ever performed a mass in Jerusalem. Convinced he could avoid this fate, Sylvester continued his life until he made a fatal mistake. He celebrated a mass in the Church of Santa Croce in Jerusalem, in Rome, not realizing the trap. Various versions recount the end of his life. In one, he is killed by the demon and his followers in the church. In another, he goes mad and on his deathbed orders his body to be dismembered to avoid eternal damnation. According to legend, his tomb is haunted and his legs knock when a pope is about to die. How could such a powerful man fall so tragically? But what really happened to Sylvester II? Many historians believe he died of natural causes, although his contributions to science and education have been overshadowed by the legends surrounding him. The story of the fatal mass in the Church of Santa Croce in Jerusalem may have been an allegory created to explain his sudden and mysterious downfall. A more sober version of events suggests that Sylvester II, realizing his health was declining, entered a state of deep reflection and repentance. He knew his life was coming to an end and sought ways to ensure the salvation of his soul. Despite the legends of dismemberment, his body was buried intact in the Basilica of St. John Lateran, where it still rests. But in the end, are the legends surrounding Sylvester II true or mere fiction? Although many historians consider these stories mere fiction, it is undeniable that the life of Sylvester II was extraordinary. He was a pioneer in various fields of knowledge, and his influence was felt for centuries. What motivated these legends? Was it merely envy and fear of the unknown? Or was there something more in his achievements that made him a target of such accusations? Sylvester II's life, marked by his intellectual brilliance and meteoric rise, defied the norms of the time. He lived in a period when ignorance was often used as a tool of control, and anyone who stood out intellectually risked being accused of witchcraft. His inventions, such as the bronze head, and his skill in various natural sciences, made him appear as someone possessing forbidden knowledge. Over the centuries, the legends about Sylvester II grew and transformed, reflecting the anxieties and prejudices of each era. During the Middle Ages, when fear of the occult was predominant, he was depicted as a dark magician. In modern times, he is often seen as a tragic hero, a man of science misunderstood in his time. But Sylvester II is not the only figure shrouded in mysteries in the Vatican. What other secrets does this institution hold? The story of Sylvester II is not an isolated case when it comes to mysteries and secrets in the Vatican. Over the centuries, the Vatican has been a center of power and knowledge, guarding many secrets that have never been revealed to the public. The Vatican Library, founded in 1475, is one of the oldest and most important libraries in the world. It contains more than 1,100,000 printed books, 75,000 manuscripts, and more than 8,000 incunabula, books printed before 1501. However, not all of these texts are available to the public. Part of the collection is kept in the secret rooms of the library, inaccessible to everyone except a select group of scholars. There are rumors that these documents contain information about suppressed heresies, apocryphal texts, and records of historical events that have been kept secret. For example, some believe that the library holds letters and diaries that document the true history of the early years of Christianity, information that could alter the traditionally accepted view of the Church. What else could be hidden in these documents? Another intriguing aspect of the Vatican is the sacred relics supposedly hidden in its vaults. Among the most famous are the Holy Grail, the chalice used by Jesus at the Last Supper. Despite its location never being confirmed, the legend persists and fuels curiosity and speculation. The Ark of the Covenant, which contained the tablets of the Ten Commandments, is another relic that some theorists claim is kept in the Vatican after it was lost to history. The Church, however, has never confirmed its possession. The Shroud of Turin, although currently kept in the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Turin, is another example of a relic shrouded in mystery. Some believe there are documents in the Vatican that could clarify the true history of the shroud. The Vatican has also been the scene of many conspiracies and intrigues over the years. The case of Emanuela Orlandi, for example, is one of the most intriguing. In 1983, Emanuela Orlandi, a young citizen of the Vatican, mysteriously disappeared. Her case has never been solved, and over the years several theories have emerged linking her disappearance to kidnappings, espionage, and even the mafia. Some believe that high-ranking members of the Vatican may be involved, or have knowledge of what really happened. Another example is the financial scandals involving the Vatican Bank, officially known as the Institute for the Works of Religion, IOR. One of the most infamous was the Banco Ambrosiano scandal in the 1980s, which involved accusations of money laundering, fraud, and mafia connection. What else could be hidden in the shadows of these sacred walls? There are theories suggesting that the Vatican has ties to secret societies such as the Illuminati and Freemasonry. Some believe that high-ranking members of the Catholic Church are involved in occult rituals, and that the Vatican possesses esoteric knowledge that is kept secret from the public. In addition to the library, the Vatican has the secret archives, a collection of documents dating back to the 8th century. Access to these archives is extremely restricted, and only authorized scholars can consult them, and even then, only a fraction of the total is accessible. Among the most famous documents are the Galileo affair, which contains the records of the trial of Galileo Galilei, who was condemned by the Inquisition for defending Copernicus' heliocentric theory. Another important document is the papal bull that excommunicated Martin Luther, leader of the Protestant Reformation. Personal letters and documents of Michelangelo, who worked extensively in the Vatican, are also among the treasures of the archives. Will we ever have access to all these secrets? There are also theories suggesting that the Vatican is involved with esoteric and occult practices. Some believe that the Church possesses knowledge about alchemy, astrology, and other occult sciences that have been suppressed over the centuries. The figure of Sylvester II, with his supposed magical abilities and mysterious inventions, is often cited as an example of how the Church might be involved with this knowledge. The life of Sylvester II, shrouded in mysteries and legends, reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge can be both a blessing and a curse. His story, true or not, serves as a powerful reminder of the complexities of power and knowledge in the medieval era. And as we look at the secrets of the Vatican, we see that he is not alone in his enigma. The seat of the Catholic Church is a labyrinth of unresolved mysteries. What other secrets might be hidden, waiting to be discovered? If you are interested in exploring more about spirituality, check out our video on how to master invisible forces and occult energies. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue this journey of self-discovery and spiritual learning. Your commitment to knowledge is the first step to transforming your reality.